here we are with Miss Tessa. So I'm just going to wait for some people to join me today. I've only really just sent out some notifications, so hope a few people will be able to tune in, of course. Hey, I can see there's a couple of people that have come on. Hi, or good morning to you. Nice to see you all tuning in today. As I said, I would have my Miss Tessa, yes, good morning, Bronte. Lovely to see you here. Thank you for joining me today. Yeah, I have Tessa, who is my Bredley carpet python. As you can see, she is getting, if I can go back, quite a big girl. She also happens to be a very feisty young lady as well. Tessa has taken quite a while to actually, I guess, calm down, and is always ready and waiting when I go in to get her to let me know I will have a go at you if you touch me. Of course, I will touch her because I wanted to come out and I wanted to get more used to being out. Tessa's time is more so later on in the evenings, not so much during the day. So she kind of was, what are you, oh, good morning, Florida Diver. You're welcome. I love sharing with, hi Maestro, thank you. She is beautiful, and she certainly has a personality to go with it. She's been my toughest to actually get to chill out, but once she's out, she's perfect. She does not like the reflection of herself in my glasses at all. I wish I could take them off so that she doesn't actually see herself, because the moment that she can see herself in my glasses, she immediately arcs up at me, and she has actually tagged my glasses straight at them. So she sees herself and frightens herself, I think, but she certainly, once she's out, she's great. And I haven't actually copped a nip from her for a while, except for my stupidity and feeding Jessie a rat and then going in and fiddling inside of her enclosure. She decided to grab me, and it was a wallop, I tell you. But she let go as soon as she realised it wasn't a food, and kind of looked at me like, well, where's the rat? So, and it was actually her feed day, guys, so I was able to give her a feed. But I really, I want to talk a little bit about, I've just done a video basically about a beginner's guide to setting up for your snake, because I remember watching videos about setting up and what you'll need and so forth, and what that specific. Hi Munson Burner, how you going? And being really quite confused a lot of the time and going, well, do I do this or do I do that? Or hi Abram, good morning, thanks for the great, you're welcome. I love doing my videos for everybody too. I get a lot of pleasure out of doing them and sharing them with everybody, and I appreciate everybody that has subscribed and is watching my videos. And how much does a license? Here it's around 74. Oh wow, prehistoric pets. I'd love to go there. Licenses here in Australia are roughly around the $74. And I think my license is actually a 5 year. So, and I could be wrong. I know that may have changed since I got my license, and it might only be every year now. So, but I know that I paid $74 when I got my license. Of course, we never used to have one many, many years ago, but of course we do now. And we cannot take them from out of the wild, which is truly a good thing as well. There's plenty of breeders now that we can get any species that we would like to have. So yeah, licensing is that 74 Australian dollars. How much do you pay for your licenses where you are? Um, I mean, it's always so interesting to find out costs for other people for things. You know, I find so many cheaper things from the US than I do here in Australia. And of course, we know China, it's so much cheaper again, but I wouldn't always recommend all of their products. But I guess that's a whole another video. So I wanted to, you know, the confusion. How many of you really found so many conflicting information on how to set up for your snake and what that particular species likes? Are you right? He takes her, you know, she's very active. She's a very confident girl, my Tessa, ready and raring to go. Absolutely no fear. And I can say that even though when I go in to get her out, that she might arc up at me. Oh, hi. Uh, I thought actually I got Tessa out for September Girl 70. I did ask who people would like to see, and she said, I'd love to see a little bit more of Tessa. So here she is for you to see. As I said in earlier, she's not really used to coming out this time of the day. She's a bit of a night girl, my Tessa, and it's generally when I'm ready to go to bed. Tessa's at that door mooching to come out. And guys, as I said, when I go in, she info in the States regarding ball and royal pythons, UK, royal, US. See, even doing that, you know, Tessa's watching intently at my hand and thinking, oh, will I? So this is a girl I take a little bit of extra care with because she would nip me. She knows me, but she is still my feisty girl. And I certainly want to get her out of that before she's my big feisty girl. So still a little bit of work, and the license is 71 a year. Okay, I think that they did bring that in yearly um, after I'd already, of course, had my licenses. So, well, I better check my license, better I? You know, it's just something I don't really think about. You know, all that log booking, movement of, you know, I've only initially had 3 for so long. I don't really, you know, all of a sudden I've obtained a few more. I better look into that. So thank you for actually asking me that question, because I'm pretty sure I renewed and did renew here in Queensland and was able to do it for a further 5 years, and thinking to myself, well, it's 5 years and maybe I didn't read right. I'm going to double check today. So the confusion, you're right. I read so many different ways of caring for that one specific species that I'm thinking to myself, well, which way is it? And I ended up adding up the more that said this particular way is what I went with. So, but it was still confusing, extremely confusing, piecing it all together. And in the end, I think what I really want to say, she's keeping mother still, which is being a good girl. It is her day to feed. Well, her colours change. Oh, I deleted your message, September Girl 70, and I didn't really mean to. I pressed the wrong button. Sorry, if you can put that. Will her colours change as she ages? And then I banned you. So how do I unban you? Unblock. There you go. I've unbanned you. See, the screen is so tiny and our fingers are so big that we go to do something and we press something and we don't mean to. So you're unbanned. So will her colours change? All snakes change as they get older. They go darker, they lose the brightness. But Tessa is so young that she's going to get brighter and brighter and brighter with each shed that she does. Now, Tessa is classified as a hypo, so she has less of the dark in her and is much lighter, but Tessa will be coming back into shed, so she's not as light as what she would normally be. I've seen some Bredleys that are even closer to that brown color rather than having this reddish orange to them. But Tessa has got quite a lot of orange to her. So yeah, her colors will change as she complete when it comes to getting your first snake. All those, I have heard this from so many people, often minimalistic approach. Or sorry, I keep pressing that darn wrong button and trying to get this up. Often with little regard for the true space required and lack of enrichment for snakes. Look, I think when you get a hatchling, minimalistic is perfect to begin with. And I'm talking about a little spotted python, which are the size of a pencil when you actually get them. I do believe in them having hides to hide in. I also do put a little stick or a branch in them, but if they do want to go up off the ground a little bit, and a water bowl and their paper towels, because believe me, their urate is, and their little poos are so tiny that a white piece of paper towel is just so easy to see that they've been to the toilet. So, but of course, you know, Tessa came to me, and a lot of people get their snakes not as hatchlings. And Tessa came to me at a fairly decent size at 8 months, and I made sure that she did have that enrichment, that climbing space, because Bredleys love to climb. I also offered her hides, which I found she didn't use. So I think what you do is you put your snake in, you do what you feel is right for them. If they're a climber, of course, give them something to climb up onto. That's for sure. If you've put hides in there and you don't see them using them, eliminate them and give them more area on the ground if they get down there, because she does go to the ground. and has a little wander around. I just recently put a bigger hide in for her, and occasionally she's down there in there. But when I first got her, she spent her life sitting up in a hammock up off the ground, and still does. And that's where she was when I went and actually got her out. So I wanted to kind of say to people, instead of it being so daunting, like, and confusing, heating, somewhere to hide, water, and something to keep them in to keep them safe, and that thermostat is essential as well, is the basics of when you bring your snake home. Then of course they are going to, if they're a baby and they're in a tub, then it gives you time to think about if they are climbers and you've watched them and you've seen what they are actually like before you go out and you buy your next enclosure for them and how you're going to set it up. You don't need to spend a lot of money to make a snake happy. And how you choose to set your enclosure. Now, I have plants and branches and vines and shelving and hammocks and all sorts of things in my enclosures. It does give them enrichment. It gives them things to move around on and to lay on and make decisions of where they want to be within their enclosure. But in all honesty, they'll choose specific spots that they like, and that tends to be where they want to go and where they're going to spend a lot of their time. And Lily at the moment is a prime example of that. She loved a hammock, and in this one she's not doing it. And for me, I'm like, oh, but you spent so much time in your hammock in your other one. But she's found that the shelf is where she likes to hang out and have her sleep. Whereas Jessie, and I'm going to pick it up to my camera up today, and I'll just take you on over so I can show you Lily, and I'll show you Jessie. Jessie loves his branches. He also used to like his hammock, and the only time he actually goes over to that particular area is to thermal regulate. September girl 70, she will. She will be, maybe, she certainly won't be as girthy as Jack, but she will be longer than Jack, and she will be longer than Lily. And Lily really is quite a big girl for a jungle, and I do know she has coastal in her, but Lily would be classified as a big jungle carpet python. Most people who see her are quite amazed and say, wow, she is a big girl for a jungle carpet python. But this girl is going to reach, estimated, about 9 feet. So Lily is sitting at around 7 odd foot, as is Jack at the moment. But yeah, Miss Tessa, she's going to be extremely long. So I'm going to have a lot of climbing area and big areas for her to hang out on in this room. So I'm just going to unplug and we'll see how this goes, because I actually moved this around while I've been live. So yeah, no, it is big. But I knew that's what she was going to get. So, and I'm okay with that, so long as she's not so feisty at that 9 odd foot that she can achieve in her life. And of course that means I'm going to need a bigger enclosure for her as well. I'm going to turn the camera around, guys, and I'm going to head on over and I'll just show you Lily's favourite position, and I'll try and keep Tessa okay at the same time. So around here, just let me know if I don't think I'll cut out because I'm in the same room. But as you can see, there is Miss Lily and her favourite spot. And what I found in her other enclosure, she never went into a hammock while there was no support underneath it. So what I actually did was I put in a shelf so that she might feel that there's support, and I added some vines to make it well and truly secure for her, but she hasn't moved. She still goes straight there, and if anything, she's using that as something on her back as well. So she does have an area over here which has her original hammock hanging or onto that. So her scent was on it, but I have seen her on it, but not a lot. And this was where she used to bask on this particular area. And she uses it to come here and mooch at this door to come out. But more often than not, there's where Lily lays. And of course, Lily hasn't eaten for me for a month now. And she's not happy with me changing her enclosure. Even though you would think all this much more space, sometimes that isn't the case, guys. Sometimes they prefer smaller spaces, and I kind of get the feeling my Miss Lily is not impressed with her mum at the moment and putting her in this big place. Of course, Jack has gone back into his hide, but Jack is doing really well in this enclosure. He's eating, he's doing his stuff, he's crawling from one end to the other. So he's a happy chap actually with his new enclosure. So I can go on up here because this is where, of course, Maya lives, and you might be able to just see her over the back, and she loves a hammock. Now, Maya's my albino Darwin carpet python. They also love to climb. So, yep, she spends quite a bit of time. Oh, thanks, Abram. You know, I love being able to have that enrichment within their enclosures. I think it is important for them to have that and variety. Life would be pretty boring with 2 boxes and a water bowl, to be perfectly honest. So that's just how I feel. A lot of other people feel differently, feel it's just totally unnecessary, and their snakes are fine. But in the reality, my guys spend so much time outside with me, I wonder why I do it, but I guess I like doing it myself personally. And of course, here we have Jesse, and that is where he likes to hang out. And I've added those 2 bamboo sticks because Jesse is a real guy that likes to spread out and hang out. The only time I really did and do see him under his heat is when he's digesting and when he was going into shed and shedding process. So I guess that tells me, which I know, they do like heat and to keep warm while they're going through the shedding process. Well, my Jesse does anyway. But yeah, there he is. And that's how he likes to hang. So I've given Jesse plenty of areas to hang out on with his, he does have hides, and I have seen him down there. Of course, in winter, should he take to any of the hides, I'm going to have to put some heat mats in there for him, because I do know that floor level with the heat panels, it just isn't going to cut it. So, and who do I have left? Of course, I have a Pani, and she's in a very simplistic tub setup at the moment, but that's not going to be her permanent home, of course. she's getting there and she's growing and she's doing really well. And I'll head on over and we'll see if we can see Miss Maya. Of course, this is Tessa's enclosure. So she has heaps of climbing space, and this isn't going to be her permanent. This is kind of that in-between enclosure for her. And of course then Amaya's probably going to end up in it at some stage. And there is my Maya, my spotted. She's over keeping warm, hanging out of her warm hide. And Tessa knows that that's her enclosure, and can I go back home yet, Mum? But I will put her back very soon. So we'll just come on back here. So I also, you know, in that confusion, and I haven't even got to the complex, because are they complex or are they simple? And I am going to be putting up a video very soon on that particular subject. I think they can be simple to take care of and pretty easy to take care of, but I don't think people realise just how complex these guys are actually as well. And when I say complex, I'm talking more about that they have intelligence, and it's forgotten that they actually do. So simply is bringing them home, putting them in the enclosure that you have set up for them, feeding them, cleaning up after them, giving them fresh water. Complexity is being able to take your time to assess them as individuals that are different. And that is me saying to you, I could have 5 Bredli carpet pythons, and each and every one of them would differ from the other in what they like and what they don't like. So this is what I mean about the information out there, and why it can get so confusing is because it isn't across the whole species. Like, this isn't one species and how you should care for it, because they are all different. I could not say to you that if I had another Bredli, that it would be and need what she does. That Bredli could be the complete opposite to this girl. She doesn't like hides. She could care less about a hide or having one. I could have another Bredli that lives in it. So I could have another Bredli that climbs but spends more of her time down on the ground level. So I guess it would be very hard to have written matter, because you would have many, many books and more conflicting stories about snakes and how to care for them, but to put together an ebook and start with the very basics of caring, and also very much explaining it about taking care of them more as individuals rather than a species, because they are individuals. My goodness, the personalities that exist with each and every one of my snakes, and they're all so different. None of them are alike. And I don't have double ups of species as such. I mean, I have Lily, who would be classified a jungle, and I have Jessie, who is a jungle, but Lily is completely different to Jessie. So how does anybody ever really get it right? about how to really care for them, except you are the one who can get it right for your snakes, because you know them. You know what they like and what they don't like. So this girl doesn't like me going in and taking her out of her enclosure. She likes her home. She likes being in her enclosure and doing whatever she wants to do. But as she gets older, she isn't going to like being in there so much. She's going to want to be coming out. And she does. She lets me know when she would like to come out. And like I said, that's generally when I'm heading off to bed. And I don't have to get her out, guys. I'll open the door and she will come on out all by herself. So it's not me actually going in to actually get her out physically myself. So she does enjoy out, but when she wants to come out, not necessarily when I want her to come out. So there you go, guys. There's Miss Tessa today. And I will, with each live stream, have a different snake with me. And if there's anything in particular that you would like to talk about, or you have any questions, this is when you can ask. And I will be back here Friday at around the 10:30 to talk to you all again. And thank you, as always, for tuning in today. I can't ever keep up with Miss Tessa. She never stops moving. So, guys, I'm going to say bye. And remember, take care of your snakes. Hey, Tessa. Bye, guys.